channel. This is John Wolf here, and yeah, I've had more stuff back up as usual while trying to make these videos, and let's just say I'm trying to hurry as fast as I can to get this last recording done, because once I'm done recording this video, I will have 4 videos left that just need editing. I'll have all the stuff recorded, so this is a Pokemon Go video. It's got a cram ton of information with a surprise at the end, so try to stay with me, I guess. Or you can skip to the end, whatever you want, because a lot of this you might already know about. And when you get towards the end of this video, it'll have maybe something that you don't know or don't know much about. You probably know a lot about it already, but it'll also have a surprise about me. So, or I guess you could say the next of a new journey, or my new journey, or whatever you want to call it. We'll get to that. Start this off. We're going to go back to the slideshow thing. Okay, got that. And let's begin. The Meltan Quest was released. They had another update that talked about the AR Plus, as well as the fact of Meltan's secret number, which is a tease. You'll know more about that here in a bit. But they added more moves to the game. This was another update right after that to fix some of the mistakes in it, any bugs. The female Pokemon had a special day and whatnot. Supposedly, shiny female Nidoran had been released. I haven't found any, though. I was thinking there was a few people that did, so maybe I'll get lucky sometime. The next fun box. This was whenever they announced the October Community Day event with Beldum, and Metagross wound up with a move of Meteor Mash that is actually really good for him. This was whenever the Sinnoh, or Generation 4 medal, popped up in the game. They hadn't released it yet, but it was showing up, and then they released. Of course, it was only some Pokemon. This is whenever I saw it on my nearby, and of course, my first ones that I caught were Kricketot, Bidoof, Turtwig, and Chimchar. Well, I had to start somewhere, right? My first day of catching, and I got 4 to count for my badge. Still got a ways to go, though. They released brand new hats for, I believe it was the first 3 starters, I think. I can't remember. The main one I noticed, though, was the Charmander hat. I got to laughing with it, so I went ahead and got it. Put it on my character. It's like, well, this was the beginning of deer hunting season, so you got to put on your orange. So yeah, put that on there. My next fun box. I am still trying to get my Dragon Tamer medal for the dragon types. I'm almost there. And it's the only one left that I don't have. Everything else is gold finally. So I'm still working towards it. I added some more to my Generation 4 Pokedex, so now I'm up to 14. The Generation 4 Halloween event was announced. The first set, second set, which at the end, after you're done with these, you get Spirit Tomb. And the third, obviously, is just more experience, is what they've been doing with the special research stuff. Completed it, so yes. This was whenever we found out that Meltan could be evolved, which has never happened with any mythical Pokemon. Turns into Melmetal, and it's 400 candy, so that'll take a while. And supposedly you need a Pokemon Let's Go or Pokemon, let's see. You need a Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee game with a Nintendo Switch in order to get a bunch of the boxes that acts as an instance for them. I don't have a Nintendo Switch or the game, so we'll see how that goes. Might take a while. Yeah, the Adventure Sync feature was announced. Gengar Day, when they messed up and I don't know what happened with the notifications. And it's been so long since this happened that I don't even remember what happened, of why. They mentioned Shedinja for the next field boxes for November. Another update, which actually put Adventure Sync into the game itself, along with the goals. Supposedly you could use a smartwatch or something to sync to the game. I got lucky since I have an Android. I downloaded an app and works. My next fun box, I now have 21 on my Generation 4 badge, so I'm still slowly growing. This was when they released Shiny Ponyta and Cubone families for Rapidash and Marowak as well. This is whenever they mentioned the November Community Day using Cyndaquil to get that all the way up to Typhlosion with Blast Burn. The Double Stardust event. They released Voodoo and Buizel. Still don't have a shiny Voodoo, by the way. Finally got my first Shedinja, which I found out they're doing it differently. In the original games, supposedly you got Nincada, evolved him into Ninjask, and that his exoskeleton supposedly became Shedinja. Here in Pokemon Go, that didn't happen. They separated it, so at least you get something to fill your Pokedex, I suppose. The Hatchathon event, yeah. That's whenever they supposedly popped out with more, like Rhyhorn, Porygon, stuff like that, in order to get more candy that people might not have been saving since they were upgrading their Pokemon for fighters, which a lot of people didn't do that after a while because other Pokemon replaced the fighters, but you get what I mean. The stuff that evolves in Generation 4 for something, you're going to need more candy. That's what this was for. Finally got my first Sinnoh Stone. I finally completed all of the Let's Go Meltan quest. Got all that. Yep, Melmetal, we found out he's a tease for Generation 8. But they put unknown, so they're not even going to tell us if it really is Generation 8 or not. But his number is 808, which is right after the last of Generation 7, so it has to be Generation 8, but eh. But if you look down here, right here, they're also teasing us because that's Melmetal. He's 400 candy. That's it's going to take a while. This is whenever they popped up and Cresselia was available for the next raids. Legendary raids, that is, Tier 5. This is whenever they popped up and mentioned that the Community Day, that the December Community Day was going to be a reunion of all of the past Community Days, all bound into one. Sadly, I was only able to be out for 5 to 30 minutes on those particular days, because if I remember right, they lasted 3 days total. And downfall is I wasn't able to go out during the actual times that a lot of stuff was popping up, so hopefully you got lucky. Another update mentioning the winter event, some other stuff that popped up in the game. I just realized some of the pictures I had and whatnot didn't do right. What this was supposed to have on there was talking about the fact that the Sinnoh Stone was no longer guaranteed. I was lucky enough to keep everything going to where I got 2 Sinnoh Stones, and then the next day after getting the second one, they flipped it over and made it to where it's randomized. You get it from the field box, but you may or may not actually get it from the field box because it's randomized. And they were talking about other ways to get it. Guess we'll figure out how that goes. Of course, this was the tease thing that popped up, but the picture ain't working right. Guess either that or maybe my computer's not reading it right. What's supposed to be there is it's a tease because they're mentioning that PvP is getting really close to coming out. The December field boxes, I guess you could say it's a helpful towards those that haven't got any of these 6, or they're needing more of them, hopefully a better one. For Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, Raikou, Entei, and Suicune. And I've already got them. So I guess if I get one and it turns out to be shiny, that'll be good. Otherwise, I guess we'll see how things go. This is towards the Totori event. I think I'm pronouncing it right. Totori or something like that. It's over in Japan. It's an event, and I guess to the sand dune event, whatever you want to call it. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Anyway, they went ahead and released the shiny version of Sandshrew. Of course, I don't have that one just yet. And if I remember right, we were supposedly waiting on it to be available to the rest of the world, so I guess we'll see how that goes. And since the picture on the right is in Alolan, makes me wonder if they went ahead and released the shiny for the Alolan version too. We'll have to find out. From there, they went ahead and mentioned that Delibird was returning for the 2018 holiday season. So, I reckon a few people in town will be happy. They don't have them yet. Another update, except this one they mentioned was the big one. And it was flat out full of player versus player mechanics and stuff. Should be a picture. Yeah, that picture's not loading right either. Hopefully my computer's not literally that old. Anyway, they added more stuff to the game. A whole bunch of new moves, different icons and mechanic stuff to where supposedly you can use Stardust to unlock a new move, a third move or a second charge move basically for your character as you're battling. It's a form of tap and swipe, but they give more strategy. It's time sensitive, so you got a basic timer and you're just trying to defeat as many as you can. There's 3 Pokemon you can use instead of the 6 like normally, so it can be a little bit faster. I guess in a way you could say it's also saving on data, so that's actually good for people like me that try to crunch the numbers basically to keep data and everything from being too expensive. But yeah, that's one small step, a little bit closer to PvP, because it's getting really close now. And that's the last of the main pictures. Should be one more pic after this, and it's going to be mentioning the main surprise, other than maybe a little bit of this if you hadn't heard about it already. And here's that picture. You can't even see the whole thing. Why has it got to do that? Are you kidding? Wow. Anyway, my phone has issues. That my phone does. Plus, a new journey. What this is basically mentioning is the fact that with all these brand new updates, the way everything's going, the data usage, what all I have on my phone can't cut it. Not anymore. I can still play. I can do the basics for my stamp catching and spinning every day, and then gifts every now and then. But in the past couple months to 5 months, somewhere in there range, I've lost close to, if not at least, 13 or 14 raid passes. Of course, about half of those were free passes, but still hurts whenever you're about to get this Pokemon. You're there, you were able to get there last second, so you're trying to get everything ready. Your phone's loading and you're hoping it's good, and you blip because your RAM. I've only got 1 gigabyte of RAM. It finally loads up. Everything's good. I'm battling. I'm gonna get it, and I get kicked because my phone decided it was gonna reboot the entire thing. It finally turns back on. I go to get, the raid's not there. Can't get it. And some people said that you supposedly could click the gym and maybe it'd put you back in, but yeah, it doesn't work with me. But yeah, that 1 gigabyte of RAM just ain't gonna cut it. Some people said at least 2 gigabytes of RAM. Well, I've got to save up for a brand new phone. And the phone I chose, I'm getting it half off because, of course, it's refurbished. Full price, that would take a long time to get, and that's if I could actually do that. And This one's only got 1 gig. The new phone that I'm thinking about switching to should have 4 gigs, so it's like that'll be one heck of a phone. It should do anything and everything I need it to. Maybe I could actually do AR Plus or something like that for once. I'll be able to trade instead of having to try 5 or 6 times with my phone turning on and off and glitching and whatnot, trying to trade just one thing. I could be able to trade whenever I want and all that. So, yeah, I guess hopefully get the new phone soon. I'm hoping January, but if not, maybe February get a new phone. Downfall, that's a lot of saving, and I'm stuck waiting, and if anything happens and the money has to be put somewhere else, I still won't have it. So this is not a guarantee. This is me literally having to crunch numbers, spend as less as possible in hopes of getting a new phone to properly play the game. So, yeah. That switches back over. So, yeah, like I said, this phone, I love it. It's done so much that my other phones that I've ever had have never been able to do. But, yeah, that's going to take time. But yeah, that's going to take time. Hopefully not too much time. It's for the same reason that it's taken time to do these videos. I can't remember exactly. I want to say close to 8 videos that I'm backed up. And I'm down to just 4. And this is the only one that didn't have footage that needed footage recorded for it. So, yeah, I'm just trying to speed through this, edit it, get all that done so that I can get them posted, not including doing descriptions and all that. Hopefully that goes faster than editing. But once the video is done, put that on there, post online, get everything done and shared so I can finally make new content. Because this is new and yet it's about old stuff, so it's not really new, if that makes any sense. So, yeah. Once I get my new phone, it'll be a brand new journey for Pokemon Go or just cell phones in general, because I've never had something so powerful before. It is, let's see, it's 4 to 5 times faster than this one and 100 times more powerful. It can hold 100 to 200 times more than what this one has. As far as what its capability is, that's probably an over-exaggeration on some of that. But to me, it'll feel like a lot because I've never had a phone that expensive. This one's, I got it for $80, and it dropped just after that. My sister was able to get it for $60, and she's having problems with her phone too. I got more apps on my phone. She has less, so it's like, yeah, that tells me the 1 gigabyte RAM is not going to cut it for Pokemon Go anymore. Not unless you only do stuff for the Pokedex and nothing else. And even then, it's still tough. But yeah, that'll be a brand new phone, brand new year, brand new journey. But that's whenever it happens, and it ain't going to be right now. That's a whole month to 2 months away. So yeah, I guess I'm going to leave it off there so I can start editing this, and I guess this is Jean Wolf signing off for now. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and wow, I guess I'll see you in the next video.